What's going on, everyone, and welcome to Movie Emporium's movie review of 2067, the newest film from director Seth, Larney. Before we begin, hey, if you like my channel, cool, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium, hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. If you like any of my videos, cool, hit that like button, as well as commenting below on any video that you watch, including this one. So this movie, 2067, is basically showing us a world that is very close to what we could be dealing with in a 20-year period or 40-year period, where the O2 oxygen is unsustainable, where the world that is around us is dying, people are sick, they're spitting up blood and stuff like that, and there is no cure to the issue. They're trying to build a machine that is, able to produce like actual oxygen. It's very similar to something like WALL-E, and I keep going back to WALL-E because WALL-E represents a true nature of what could truly happen if we don't figure out a solution. And yes, I know the whole solution, the whole eroding O2 thing is very controversial among scientists and people that don't believe in science, but it is kind of a scientific fact that it is becoming a huge issue. And so this kid played by Kodi Smit-McPhee, who plays Ethan, he is basically living in this world. His wife is dying, and he has been basically raised by this guy named Jude, who is played by Kwanten. And they live in this like dying world, and because this is a time travel movie, Ethan is given the ability to go to the future to find a cure, because a signal was sent back that says send Ethan White, who's the Kodi Smit-McPhee character. So he goes to the future, and what he finds is a world that is completely gone. There's growth everywhere and so on and so forth, and he has to figure out where this cure is. But it leads into some interesting revelations, some interesting plot twists that not necessarily work on a lot of aspects, but are still kind of fascinating in a world that is desperate to survive. And so, like most of these movies, similar to LX 2048, similar to WALL-E, similar to, whatever we can talk about in these science fiction movies, I'm starting to see a trend in science fiction that is leaning towards the idea of Earth becoming inhospitable. And it's a really fascinating thing to watch, because the things that are being presented are scarily like accurate and almost coming true. LX 2048 deals with a world that is basically uninhabitable. You can't walk out during the day because the ozone layer is depleted. Here in this movie, 2067, the world is inhospitable. You can't breathe the oxygen. It's really, these directors are really trying to get into your skin, trying to delve into your mind, trying to implant a seed that we have to do everything possible to take care of our planet, because if we don't, these are the effects of what could happen. I'm not necessarily saying this is exactly, this movie is like a lot like Blade Runner in a lot of ways, and it's like aesthetic, but when you sit down and you watch it and you see the ideas being presented, it's a really scary nature of fact of what could happen. And with that said, I really enjoyed this movie. Is it perfect? No, the visual effects are pretty terrible. Some of the acting is a little wonky. Some of the ways things happen are a little too over the top and a little too unbelievable, but the nature of what is being presented, with the ideas being presented, really makes the movie kind of stick with you and kind of make you feel uneasy, which is what I'm sure Seth Larney was going for. So in the end, I think the movie just is a pretty decent exploration into where our future could be heading, and so on and so forth. I think when Kodi Smit-McPhee's character does go to the future, I think that world is very similar to Life Without People, that TV documentary series or whatever it was on, I think, A&E or whatever. And I thought that it's just beautiful to look at. It's really scary to think about with overgrowth. You see buildings with overgrowth and stuff like that. I think when you think about it, if we were to die out, this is what exactly would happen. The Earth would actually reclaim itself. So in essence, if we don't figure out a cure, I know I'm getting into preachy scientific stuff, if we don't find a cure, then we will become this. But like I said, I think the movie does do a great representation of, the scientific stuff being presented. I think Kodi Smit-McPhee does a pretty nice job in the movie. I think the guy who plays Jude is pretty good for the most part. I think the side characters, like of course Ethan's dad and his mom and the woman that recruits Ethan to go to the future, do a pretty nice job. But like I said, you can tell this is a somewhat low budget film that had a lot to say and did as much as it could with what it had available. So overall, I think it's a good rent. I think you'll enjoy it. If you see it on TV, I definitely think it's worth a watch. You know, I think you'll be interested and fascinated by it, but it's not necessarily the best time travel movie, the best, you know, sci-fi movie I've ever seen. But like I said, the ideas being presented are at least interesting and kind of thought-provoking. So but that's it. That's my take on 2067. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you just decide to watch this movie. Let me know what you think about the things being thrown at the screen, you know, with the ideas and ideologies and so on and so forth. Do you agree with anything? So, you know, that's all that good stuff. Otherwise, you know, hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell at the top to find out what's coming next. Hey, if you like any of these videos, cool. Hit the like button. If you dislike it, it is what it is. Otherwise, see you guys on the next video. Peace out.